Welcome back to Huddle Up. It's time. It's time for us to make our predictions for the big game and break it down a little before we crown a champion. So let's get right at it. Montreal wins the Grey Cup for the first time since 2010, I may add, if blank.
This is hard. We've seen a lot of the Alouettes. We've seen how streaky they can be. And I think we've seen them win all season long in one consistent way, and that's the defensive side of the ball. And I'm going to say Montreal wins if they win the turnover battle. They get in Zach Collaros' face, fluster him. We saw him a year ago. That happened, in Saskatchewan with the Argos, especially Henoc Muamba having that big game, forcing turnovers, getting to the quarterback. If Montreal's able to do that, shut down this Winnipeg offense a little bit, and just be opportunistic on the offensive side of the ball. Cody Fajardo might be one of the best dink and dunk, 5 yards here, 7 yards there. He has so much poise on second down, I feel. And if they can protect him, I think they have a bit of a winning recipe because they're playing with fire. They know they're the underdog. They love that. They're owning the moment. And I'm just so impressed in what I've seen from the Montreal Alouettes so far. They can win this game, and it's going to start on the defensive side of the ball.
I agree with you. I think if you're looking for reasons to be optimistic, if you're a Winnipeg fan, as far as the turnover battle goes, defense only allowed 6 points to this Montreal offense in their 2 regular season matchups. Zach Collaros threw 2 pick sixes in that one game that they won 47-17. So he threw 3 picks in that game, and they still put up 40 plus and won by 30. So it's like, that is the recipe. That has to be the recipe, is to win the turnover battle. And Cody will take care of the football for the most part. If you can get 2 pick sixes off of Zach, you're playing with house money at that point. But I think you're going to need a little more from your offense for sure. It's just one of those things where if you're a Winnipeg fan, you look at it and you're like, okay, we've seen it a bit where we threw 3 picks and 2 pick sixes and we still won by 30. So it could go both ways. I think this team is just so different since Darnell Sankey came in at linebacker when they signed him. And Sean Lemon came in late in the year, but and the pass rush changed dynamically when he came in. But then Sankey in the middle of things, he's been there the entire winning streak. His first game was a loss to the Argos. Since then, they haven't lost a game. And so I think he's maybe unlocked something in this Thorpe defense that has changed the way they play. So it'll be interesting to watch. But I agree with you. And I think if they get a special teams touchdown too, look out Winnipeg, because I think they can shut anyone down. What we saw, they shut the Argos down. Yes, they didn't beat a team with a winning record all season long, but they've done it now. And they beat the best team in the CFL.
That's what Montreal needs to do. Winnipeg, they're definitely going to be the favorites in this game. Winnipeg wins because their defense is just going to wreck Montreal. And we saw it a little with the Argos. They were after Cody Fajardo all game long. I think they sacked him 7 times was the official number. It felt like way more, though. They didn't allow anything. It really wasn't on the Argos defense of why they lost that game. They got a pick. They created a turnover. And now on the Winnipeg side of things, you're looking at a defensive line that just sacked Vernon Adams Jr. 9 times, tied for a playoff record. You see Cody get destroyed all game long against Toronto. Willie Jefferson is pinning his ears back. He's excited. That unit is excited. And not to mention, you have the CFL interception leader on your defense as well, and DeMario Houston, who had a pick and a big pick in that win against BC. So I think, and this is not the only way Winnipeg wins, surely, because I think their offense is clearly more than capable of putting up points against Montreal's defense. They've done it. I think it's a different Montreal defense they're facing this time. But I really think, Winnipeg is not, I don't think, going to allow anything. I think my answer for Winnipeg wins because I'm going to say if they score 24 points or more, they're going to win this game. And that's not to say that Montreal can't score that many points. We just saw them score in the 30s against the Argos. But if the game becomes that high scoring and that fast paced, I don't like their chances. I don't think they're going to win this race,
I don't want to doubt Montreal, but I just look at this matchup and I look at it a little like the Toronto game. But now it's a whole different environment where you're facing a team that's coming off of a Grey Cup loss the year earlier, that's been here. This is their 4th time in a row. So inexperience, like nothing is going to get to Zach at this point. Like if he has a bad game or a bad moment in this game, he's going to shake it off because he has been there and he has done that before. And this team has that mentality. I think it's going to be close though, but I'm going Winnipeg to win, and I'm going to go 27-17.
I like it. Part of me wants to keep the Cinderella run going because I think if they do win, it would just be one of the best stories in all of sports, period. But I just don't think I've quite seen enough from Montreal if you look at their entire body of work. Like you said, up until this weekend, they never beat a team with a winning record all year long. Every time they played the Lions, the Bombers, and the Argos, they lost. And specifically against the Bombers, they were blown out. I do like it to be close, though, because I think this is a new team and a different team than we've seen earlier in the season. I think I'm going to go with 26-21 for the Blue Bombers, and they cement themselves as one of the great dynasties in Canadian football.
I hate this prediction because, like, for both of us, because and it's one of those things where, like, Montreal is really good, and maybe it's not coming through in our prediction and like talking about their offense the way we're talking about. Like they're really good, and that's why I hate this prediction because I don't want to pick against them, but I can't bring myself to pick them.
Maybe a last chance change to Montreal. Maybe I'll claim right before kickoff that I'm going to change my mind.
Love it. I love it. Quick picks, most outstanding player, most outstanding Canadian.
I think I'm going to pick the same. Actually, you know what? Most outstanding player, let's go with Willie Jefferson. I think he's going to have a big game. Okay. And then most outstanding Canadian, for me, it's an easy one. Brady Oliveira has just been one of the best players in the entire league this season. And I expect Winnipeg to continue playing that style of football, grind a team out in the run game. And he can do it in the air as well. Brady Oliveira has been amazing. So those, not to steal your thunder, but those are my picks.
Great picks. And I mean, if you're looking for on the Montreal side of things, Tyson Philpott, the wide receiver, could have a big game because they need someone outside of Austin Mack to do something. And we saw Tyler Snead make some plays in the playoff run, but maybe this is the Tyson Philpott game where he is just kind of that third option, but makes a few big plays for them because he's got that ability that he scores a couple touchdowns and maybe wins most outstanding Canadian and maybe most outstanding player if Montreal wins. I don't know. Let's turn back the clock. Maybe give it to like Sean Lemon or something. Making a couple impact plays, like he's gonna have to. That defense is gonna have to make some plays, and I think it starts kind of up front with them. So those are our predictions. They're gonna be wrong, I'm sure, in many ways, but I think at the end of the day, we're just really excited for this matchup. It's gonna be such an awesome game. Poc's going to be at the game in Hamilton, and we can't wait to talk about this one, however it goes, on the next edition of Huddle Up.
I can't wait. We'll see you guys then. Enjoy the game.